All rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
in line with your values. Again, we thank this in Jesus' name. Amen.
All righty, welcome everybody. What do you say we have a roll call?
Aaron Rowe.
Here.
John Manus. Pancho Davis. Here. Marcia Parker. Here. Ken Colley. Here. Bill Young.
Here.
Ron Sharon.
Here.
All right, we've got a quorum. Has everybody been able to look over the minutes of July 28th? If so, we'd like a motion to approve those minutes as written.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion? Do I have a second? Got a second by Bill. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same. All right, ayes have it. Does anybody from the public like to talk about anything on the agenda? No? All right, there is no unfinished business, which is good, so we'll move right along to new business. Consideration of Resolution 26-06, reaffirming support of Mercy Crest and authorizing the resubmittal of an application for ACEDP grant funds. Mr. Steve, you want to tell us about the funds?
Yes, sir. Last year, we made a application for the same type of funds. We got no win on that deal. You can make the resubmit. You'll find the Resolution 2606 reaffirming the support of Mercy Crest and authorizing the resubmittal. Mercy Crest would like grant money for a new nurse call system. I recommend approval of the resolution. We've already had the meetings. We've been through it before. We know exactly what they want to do, how they want to do it, and when you get a grant, and this comes through with the coordination of Western Arkansas Planning and Guidance, Tracy McKenna, you'll be doing, we as the acting agent will be the handler, and the money will come from the state participation plan. And it's pretty much what they have done with other resolutions and other cooperative projects which we've done before.
Is this all funded through that grant, all of it?
Sure is.
All right, Matt, would you do the honors of reading the resolution?
You bet. This is resolution number 26-06. Be it resolved by the Board of Directors of the City of Barling, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, "A Resolution Reaffirming Support of Mercy Crest and Authorizing the Resubmittal of an Application for ACEDP Grant Funds to the State of Arkansas." Whereas the City of Barling has previously applied for ACEDP grant funds through the Arkansas Community and Economic Development Program for Mercy Crest, and has been asked by Mercy Crest to reapply for these funds to purchase and install a new nurse call system. And whereas it is necessary that certain conditions be met as a part of the application requirements, and whereas the City of Barling has or will conduct a public hearing and has an active citizen participation plan, community development plan, and as part of the application process has received and considered comments on community development and housing needs and proposed activities, and whereas as a result of the community development planning activities, the City of Barling has identified and prioritized the community development and housing needs, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the City of Barling, Arkansas, that the City Administrator of the City of Barling is hereby authorized on behalf of the City of Barling to submit an application to the State of Arkansas for grant funds under the community development provisions of the Arkansas Community and Economic Development Program, and to expend funds to accomplish such community development activities if the grant is awarded. This resolution passed and adopted in regular session August 11, 2026. Signature lines for Greg Murray, Mayor, and attested to by Florine Brown, City Clerk.
Any questions or comments or discussion about Resolution 2606?
How much money we talking about?
Last year, I was thinking, was it 185,000?
It's right under 200,000, I believe, is the max they can apply for.
Grant.
Those
I
are-
haven't actually seen this application because we're not financially obligated anything, so they didn't send it to me. But they need us to apply for them, but then we have no financial obligation. I
Okay.
think it's right under 200,000.
Okay.
They're not, system's not free.
No.
All right, if there's no more discussion, we'd like a motion to approve Resolution 2606.
I move that we approve Resolution 2606 as it reads.
All right, got a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Got a second, we'll say Ken did that one. Roll call vote, please.
Aaron Rowe,
Yes.
Pancho Davis.
Yeah.
Marcia Parker.
Yes.
Ken Collie.
Yes.
Bill Young.
Yes.
Ron Cheryl.
Yes.
All right. Off to the state, the application goes. All right, moving right along. Consideration of 2026 second quarter budget and adjustments and Resolution 2607, providing for the approval of the second quarter budget adjustments. And I'm guessing that Megan's gonna be talking about adjustments.
Yes. We have, starting with the general fund, we have revenues. I added in the grant revenue for the park grant that I had expenditures in there and not revenues, which we started receiving in July for the additional park grant funds. I increased a couple other revenues such as building permits and business licenses, which are doing very well, to account for actually the part-timers that you all approve. That way, we actually aren't under anything on our budget. It's just as we additionally budgeted. The fire department, I moved some line items back and forth, but no additional funds except for Act 833. He needs an additional 75,000, which he has in that separate account, for additional equipment, I guess, for the new fire truck. And in the police department, mainly moving funds from one line item to the next, and then, except for the contracts, I looked, it was April back when I brought it to you all to be previously approved, so you already approved it, but Axon didn't bill us until this year for 2 years' worth. So, we didn't,
Can I
yes,
ask you a question?
Yeah.
Under the police department contracts,
yes,
we went from 42, you want 23,000 more for 65, and it says Axon.
that's
I'm
Axon.
assuming that's the cameras?
Yes, yes, that's
body
actually,
cameras.
yeah, that's actually 3 years' worth.
65 grand?
No, the 23.
23.
The 23, I'm sorry, the additional, because they hadn't billed us. We had the money there, I checked, it was unspent the last several years, but they just never sent us a bill.
That sounded like City of Fort Smith. Yeah. Waterman.
Yeah,
Past the statute of limitations?
unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. And we're still in a current contract with them, so.
If it is, I'll raise it. I assure you of that.
Yeah. But we did keep those funds unspent, so they carried over from previous years.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Moving on to the Public Works Department, we, property taxes came in some additional interest. All of the interest went up, actually, it just continues to rise, so that's good. We had to add in some money to contract labor to cover, we had more than one employee out on some leave for FMLA, and so we had to use, it was in the middle of summertime, so we had to have contract labor to cover that expense, so we weren't down 2 men. But that is all taken care of now, and the payroll will actually probably be down, so it's gonna even out. But I went ahead and raised property tax and interest, so his budget should be the same overall for that. The revenues are raised 15,000 and the expenditures are as well. And then the water department, I just moved funds from one line item to the next. You'll notice all of them have a workers' comp increase, almost every department. That went up quite a bit this year, but I'm working on getting us a rebate for next year, hopefully, because it raised, but we haven't had any claims. So, Brooklyn and I have been taking classes and all the things they said we could do to save us some money, so we're working on that. Hopefully, we'll have a rebate by the end of the year for that, so. That's all I have for second quarter.
Seems like our sales tax is up quite a bit.
It is.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, it's been nice. It's coming in well, actually. It's been anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 more every month for city, and then counties anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 every month so far for the last couple of months.
And on the sales tax, how can we spend that? Does that go in the general fund?
It goes in the general fund. Sales tax is what funds everything.
Okay.
The sales tax in the general fund, though, is fire specifically.
Okay.
Fire spends more than we receive, and then the rest of the general fund covers the rest of it. But that sales tax, and then we also have 1% sales tax in the street, so theirs is
Okay.
higher this year as well. I've worked on the property tax thing out at the college. I've been working on that really hard the past couple weeks, and no one can give me real answers, but they're paying property tax on several locations now. So we should have some very large property tax coming in, hopefully, soon. So,
I'm looking at the fire department salaries and overtime, and it looks like we're pulling 5650 away from the salary. Is there, because it's left over, or not being spent? Why are we making that?
because I don't think we're going to spend it for the rest of the year, and we had, workers' comp was up, and I had to pull it from somewhere, and I didn't receive any budget adjustment sheets from anybody telling me how to pull that, so that was the one I thought. He's pretty far down for the year. I think he was only at 35 or 40% in overtime, so there was additional funds there, which is what I do in most departments, so I don't have to ask for additional funds. If I don't receive that from the department heads, I just pick best case scenario and take it from there.
So if something comes up and he has a need for overtime or something like that, and it's not in his budget, what happens then?
I mean, there's other line items. I know that one probably wasn't gonna touch it, so I found it, but there's other line items. I mean, they know they have an overall budget to work with. He has other ones that are under as well, that we can move back and forth. He's not over in his entire budget, it just, that one line item. If we had to, though, I mean, if it came up and he didn't have, that's when we would come to you all and just say, we need additional funds, this came up, he does have some extra overtime right now, because I guess we have a firefighter that's out on leave with a new baby, but I still think unless something happens, we have enough in there to cover his whole time, so, but if something came up, I would let you all know. And that's all I have for second quarter. If you don't have any questions.
Any questions for Miss Megan?
She's smart.
Matt, would you like to read Resolution 2607?
Can. Resolution number 2607, a resolution amending the fiscal year 2026 budget and making adjustments thereto. Whereas the city of Barling has heretofore set a budget for the fiscal year 2026, and whereas the board of directors of the city of Barling, Arkansas finds and determines the need to make adjustments of funds within said budget, and whereas it is in the best interest of the citizens of the city of Barling that these adjustments be made, now therefore be it resolved by the board of directors of the city of Barling, Arkansas as follows. Section 1, budget adjustments. The attached adjustments for the fiscal year 2026 of the city of Barling budget be made, and the same are hereby approved pursuant to the attached. Section 2, effective date. This resolution shall become effective immediately upon its passage, passed and adopted by the City of Barling Board of Directors this 11th day of August, 2026, signed by Greg Murray, Mayor, and attested to by Florine Brown, City Clerk.
All righty, if there's Anybody else want to discuss? If not, we'd like a motion to approve resolution number 2607.
Make a motion that we approve resolution 26-07.
Do I have a second? Got a second by Ron. Roll call vote, please.
Aaron Rowe,
Yes.
Pancho Davis,
Yes.
Marcia Parker,
Yes.
Ken Collie.
Yes.
Bill Young,
Yes.
Ron Cherum.
Yes.
All righty, got the adjustments, so let's go back to Megan, and she's gonna give us the financial report now.
Yes, I touched some of that in my budget adjustments, but June's the easy one, because in theory, we should be around 50%, so that's the easy one to figure out where we're at for the year. Revenues are all right where they should be, is 50% or higher, except for franchise tax, which is to be expected, because I don't receive the large check till the very end of the year, or beginning of next year, so.
On that franchise tax, just real quick, have we been able to get a hold of Verizon and those guys yet about any of those?
No, I mean, it's on my list, I'm working on it. It's not just getting a hold of them.
Well, I know,
A lot
I know.
more to just-
That's a little bit more.
A lot more to, I'll have to, we have to come up with new agreements and contracts, and I have to find out legally what all we're able to do, but, that's on my list. I'm pretty proud of the property tax thing. That was such a huge battle that, I mean, I think we're gonna be receiving, I guestimated anywhere, an extra 50,000 this year, I'm hoping. So,
Say that again?
an extra 50,000 in property tax, I'm hoping this year.
Okay.
Due to that battle, no one really, I spoke with the assessor, he didn't really say what happened, but it's corrected online, and he just basically said it was corrected.
We were spending our money.
So,
Yes,
that was my first battle. The next one is gonna be the franchise taxes, and I have a couple more battles to fight like that, but it's getting there. I've had some additional help with some part-time, we're getting them trained, but as they come in and I'm able to focus more on the hard task, hopefully I just bring in more money ideas to you all and produce more revenue. All the other revenues are more, where they should be, or more than expected, actually. Permits and business licenses, and they're all doing really well. I know permits are temporary, but you can see as of June, we're over our budget for the whole year already. So it is temporary, but it's still nice. Moving on to the general fund expenditures, not much to report that's changed from last month. Everybody's where they should be, or a little less. Police looks higher than it is because we had paid those Axon invoices, but now that once I get that adjusted, they won't be higher. And Public Works, there's not much to be reported there either. The payroll looks a little higher in street, but that's just because I have to do the second quarter transfers, can't do that till after June. So you'll look at payroll is actually lower for water, and that'll even out, so. Nothing bad, which is a good thing, not much to report. Any questions on anything?
Megan, when they have a meeting in Little Rock and all the staff and secretaries and financial people go, do you go to that meeting?
Yes.
Do
Yes.
do y'all get together as the financial administrative part, get together and say, hey, this is what I raised money on from Verizon this year, and this is AT&T, and sort of give you some new ideas to raise income?
Yeah, we have. And we met with legislators about certain things that are affecting cities that this last year it was very productive. I think we met with Lee Johnson and a couple others about that. Certain things like franchise tax and that is lacking, that we need help and assistance in that regard because we're just kind of thrown out on our own, and like sales tax rebates. I mean, we are affected by it, but not as much as some cities. But, you know, when a builder builds anything over, they have a delivery over $2,500, they don't have to pay sales tax on that if it's in bulk. So the ones who are building homes, they do it one big delivery, and the thing is, you do get that sales tax in, and then they take it back when that rebate processes. And so some cities, was it Jonesboro or that I spoke with you? I mean, they had like a $2 million hit one month.
Oh.
They took, yeah,
That rebate.
because you have a year to process your rebates as a builder. And when you do them all at once like that, and you thought you had all these revenues, and also, $2,500 being the cutoff, that's been the cutoff since the 80s. And it was meant for large projects. I mean, now, home projects, they're spending more than $2,500, so they're looking into raising that in the next legislation and hopefully getting some of that fixed. And
Okay.
we still want benefits to business owners and builders but not break the cities. And so that was one we worked on in the last, I went to several sessions on that, and then I've been meeting with them and they've put a lot of new mandatory financial training that I've been taking. So I've been getting that done. I have till December 31st to finish that. But yeah, myself and Flo and Brooklyn went to that this year. So
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. How do we reimburse you on your time when you go down there on a Thursday or Friday or over the weekend? I don't know when they do that.
I'm salary.
What?
I'm salary. So
I don't think that's fair.
we just, well, the hope is that, you all did allow me to have those two part-timers. Hopefully, once we get them trained and they're, I'll be able to still dive into the serious stuff, but have some time off and won't have to work so much over. It's just right now when I have to work over on nights and things, somebody still has to be here to do the job on Monday. So, but hopefully, I mean, we're getting there when we get them trained.
Okay.
So I heard you say something about you hired 2 part-timers.
Yes,
Are
yes.
they working out okay?
Yeah, I mean, one of them was just temporary for summer help. It's Matt's daughter. But the second one, she's working good. She's only been here a couple weeks. She's in college, and she has classes 2 days a week, so she only works half days. The hours work out perfect. It's really working out. And so I think it's going to be good once we get them trained. It's harder. It's worse before it gets better, but it's already starting to get a little better.
You'd
So.
have to train anybody, though.
Yeah. I think it's going to work out. So
Very
we're
good.
really thankful for that. So.
All right, any more questions for Megan? If not, we'll move on to Steve, City Administrator Report.
Let me give you first off, y'all asked about traffic out here on Church Street since they're gonna turn it over. And we've got the data collection out here, and the good news is that the Highway Department corrected the mismarked stop bar. And if you pull down to the white bar like you're supposed to, like it was supposed to be, light works fine.
Perfect.
But the other thing is that you'll really be surprised at is the peak that we had on a Monday, whole day was at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was 83 vehicles the whole day up and down that street. One day we did it, and the day I think it was the bread handout over here at the church. And the total vehicle for the week was 1,016. That's the total run. The peak that you had was 82 vehicles in an hour, which you had, the traffic is drastically reduced. It's gone.
This stoplight becomes ours once they turn it over, correct? We're responsible
Well,
for the maintenance, the
The
operation.
maintenance is ours now.
It's ours now.
Yeah, we had to, the question that you all asked is about, and my comment was about removing the light or the left turn feature and putting a stop sign in, because it's a city street. The traffic count right there tells you it's a city street. But, that's among things. The other thing I talked to them the other evening about, in the future, a study to put a traffic signal on H Street at 59 Highway, where people have been T-boned at some times. And the other thing I think would help that would be that 45 mile an hour speed limit, maybe you ought to start at the bridge when you come off the bridge coming this way because of how people bail through there. But the traffic count provoked several other things. One of the things you all asked for about the ditch cleanup. And we are a long ways down the way, and they've got letters out to everybody over there. Some of them probably, we don't know how the mail system works, but letters have gone to all the property owners on both sides about getting their property cleaned up. Some of them just said they couldn't do it, okay?
Joe
Here,
hand delivered, I think, 10 of them.
10 of them, yeah.
The really bad ones, and the other 30 they mailed out.
And the thing that is if they don't want to ever clean it, can't do it, the suggestion may be that they need to forfeit the land to the city, and the city would have to have staff up and maintain those ditches. That property is taxable, and the question is, if you're paying out and you haven't paid it off, how are you gonna forfeit something if there's a mortgage? It's a little bit squirrely.
Lien on it.
Yeah. But this is a question of who needs to mow that or who can take care of it, who has access, and there's 2 or 3 other things in there. There is not only our original 10-foot or 15-foot sewer easement, there is the AT&T telephone pedestals that are down there that you can see. And there are a couple of other drainage issues that are there that are storm drains that come in from across and up the hill. But the question was, well, and Joe asked him in his visit with he and Bill Rogers, and some people were quite willing to consider it. There are 2 lots on the far west end that those folks mow both sides of the creek, and they're not interested in it. If they can maintain it, why would we be interested in it? But if they want to complain, they need to understand what their responsibilities are as the homeowner. If you bought the place and you didn't really read and find out where your lot is, it's your problem. You know, what is it they say in Latin? Caveat beware, caveat emptor, beware. Anyhow, that's where the ditch thing is. They got all the other ditch stuff and the abandoned furniture gathered up, or it was as of yesterday. The other thing, for you all, you're going to get a class again. If you're in your packet, it refers to the legislature, and they have dreamed up a course that you're going to get on sewage management, and it was at 925 of the legislature for water and sewer providers. For those of you that have been on the board 10 years, you're exempted. If you've got 10 years of service, that's probably,
Really close.
Chairman, you're super close.
Do you count my previous
Your
years?
previous years.
Yes!
And, but anyhow, that's where it's gonna be, and hopefully it will be, where we can manage it, but we've gotta get it done, and that's, every time the legislature meets, we end up with another mandatory deal without funding.
I think that just affects me and you.
Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is something that Megan just touched on, and it might have flown by you. The training, you heard me preach about the audit and all that we have to do and all the squares that you fill. The training on financial management is in blocks now, and it is on the computer, and we need your input if you want to truly learn this. And it helps for you as a board member to keep you from asking sometimes embarrassing questions about what you can or can't do with the funds, okay? And I looked at Block 2 today, and Block 2 is exactly like they lined out and took the sketch or the checklist, the magic checklist for the audit. It's like if you do the following things, A, B, C, D, E, F, you'll pass. and it tells you the bits and pieces that go. I would recommend, and we've got it, I think we can get you in to this, and when you'll see this, one, it'll make the meetings go tremendously faster. We try to do it fast enough as it is, but it will give you the heads up. The other thing that goes with this, and you all know how we push and shove to get the budget ready, and for Brooklyn and Megan, Kim, all of us that are here, we try to get the inputs of what you're gonna need, what we think you need, what we're contracted and obligated to provide. And the budget preparation is gonna be starting, we've got about basically August, September, we've got about a month and a half of breathing room, and then we're gonna start the preparation for the next year. It's that close and it's that quick, because by law, you have to have the proposed budget in like at December, and then you have to have it enacted, especially in this form of government. You have to have it enacted and ready to go at the first of the year. And if you remember, we had to do the closeout on the budget in February, where you reconcile all the unpaid bills and all the missing in action stuff that got skipped over or just totally omitted. And you have to do this. And so what this training is, I'd recommend that you come by and take a look, because it is right to us that we're here full-time, and it's to you all as the managers for the city, the directors for the city, to have this training. It is so much of an advantage. And then, okay, we're probably gonna have we'll get a temporary easement that's proposed, and it's coming to Matt and I, for the gravel road that we have outside the boundary of the park on the east side. We had to have that when we were working down there, and we've got it off into the property of Chaffee proper. And Dan Mann and I had a meeting, and he's agreed, and he's going to have his attorney prepare for Matt and us temporary construction easement, which is probably 3 to 5 years away before they ever sell that property. And the other thing is, we're gonna have to move a rack back inside OG&E, staked it off the reservation. We'll have to get it back inside our 50 acres. If you go out there, you'll also see the transformer. The folks over at Katera forgot to allocate room for a transformer, and OG&E decided they were gonna put it on top of the water line, which won't happen and will not happen. So we've got an easement for OG&E to put the permanent patio mount type transformer, and it's gonna supply electricity to Katera. The bonus is, it's on our side, it's under our property, and the other bonus is it's got a feed set up for the day that the city builds the civic center out there in the 5 acres. In other words, we've already provided a way to have power out there. Because when we put the original power in, they couldn't see but anything but putting in a single phase, and now we're down to 3-phase power, and that's something you gotta have going forward. So you can't have, and everybody forgot until we reminded them, you cannot have overhead power lines within the confines of the park. It's gotta be all underground by the rules from the state Parks and Recreation. And they call the shots because they're the guys that's got the coin. And that's the way it is. And that's the short version of everything that's going on, folks.
All righty, anybody got any questions for Steve? No? We'll go to announcements. I went and spoke to the Fort Smith Public Library Director this past week. Had a very good discussion with her. And then I just went and had a discussion with Mr. Marty Mahan from the Fort Smith Public Schools, the superintendent, about getting the library cards for the Barling students. That was very productive. I'm waiting to hear back from him. He has a couple people he's got to talk to. So that's kind of where we're at on that. I'm very very hopeful that we can get something accomplished, at least for some of the students. It may not be all of the students, but at least the ones who actually will use the library on a
They
consistent
would have
basis.
the option to use it whether they wanted to or not.
Right. So
good, Mayor.
we did
Without
find,
charge.
we did find out that the library card is not just for the one student, it's for the entire family. That's how their library card system works, so it's for the whole family. So that's something I'm really looking forward to getting done, and we can get something done for the students. And speaking of the students, the mayor here has decided he took a paycheck of his and bought a couple little shiny little tokens for the Barling Elementary students. So they are going to have a Student of the Month award, one for a boy, one for a girl. And from everybody, I went around to all the businesses that I could and did a little video. It's on Facebook. And I've got now businesses calling me saying, hey, I want to do a video with the belt also. So we'll do another round. But this has gotten some excitement. Appreciate all the teachers and everybody at Barling Elementary, and there is a lot of support from the businesses here in Barling for our students, and I'm just overwhelmed with the responses I have gotten. So there's a lot more businesses now than there were back then when I was going to school. And but this is something they can be proud of, and this is nothing light. This is a little 6-pound little piece of metal right there that instead of getting a little piece of paper say, hey, you're student month, you can take that and walk that around and be proud. So that's something for them. I've had some questions about Strozier and D Street, and what I've been telling everybody that is still a state highway. We're not allowed to do anything with that yet, but we do have plans for the traffic on that whenever it becomes available to us. I told them we'll have some officers standing by for the first week or two of school to make sure that everybody crossing that crosswalk safe. And I do know that they are changing how you pick up and drop off students this year. So it's going to be a little different, so be very patient tomorrow because it's totally different. They're going to try to get the traffic, as much traffic as they can, off of the street and into the parking lot. So that's something for everybody to be aware of for tomorrow. Other than that, I don't have any other announcements. Does anybody else have anything?
We're having a Taco Bell soon.
And there's a Taco Bell coming very soon.
Very soon.
Very soon. Everybody's looking forward to that. I can't wait. I can run for the border.
Does anybody know what that dirt work is on the Fort Smith side, right at the corner of Chad Colley and Frontier?
Oh,
One corner down there's got a bank plan
It's
for
a
it.
bank, yeah, the bank owns it. There was talks of like an ATM last thing I knew, but I don't know.
not sure about that. All right, so we got Taco Bell, got Student of the Month, got library cards. Anybody from the public like to talk about anything right now? If not, then Mr. Ron, would you do the honors, sir?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Got a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
Got a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Folks,
That's not much traffic.
let's make Barling better every day.
Greg, way to dig in on those library cards.
I'm
I'm very impressed.